Hi, and welcome back for another installment of Actionable Insights. We're pulling great ideas from leading business books and delivering them to you in 3 minutes or less. My name's Chris Taylor, and this week we're discovering Liars and Outliers, books written by Bruce Schneier. So what's this book about? Liars and Outliers is about societies, and it's about the people that break the rules within those societies and why they do that, and sometimes the advantages of doing that. So we're going to dive into it. It's a very thick book, so I'm going to cover just a very high level out of this, but hopefully it's something you can apply back within your own professional environment. All right, so what are we talking about in this book? Well, Bruce defines people that follow the rules within a set society as cooperators. Every society has rules, structure, laws, and most people will follow those rules. Now, the second camp are these defectors. And what Bruce makes very clear is two important points. One is that in any society of any size, you will have people that defect from time to time. It's literally statistically impossible to have a non-defecting society. So that's fact number one. Fact number two is that defecting is not always a bad thing. Sometimes people break the rules because they're following a different moral code or a different societal influence, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Nelson Mandela was a defector. People that abolished slavery in the United States were defectors. They were resisting the majority and breaking away to form their own society, really is what happened. So that's a basic understanding of cooperators and defectors. We're going to come back to how it applies in the business world in a few moments. The second thing I want to talk about is societal pressures, the reasons why people defect in the first place or follow the rules. So as Schneier defines it, there are 4 different types of societal pressures. The first one is moral. Moral is, I don't want to do that because I don't want to feel bad. It's about something internal. The second is reputational. And reputational is about how you're perceived by the outside world, by the rest of that society. You don't want to skip out on your friends because you don't want to look bad in the eyes of your friends. You don't want to break that code. The third one is institutional pressure. Institutional is, I don't want to be punished for doing that thing. So society set up laws. The laws penalize those who break those laws. And finally, the fourth societal pressure are the security systems that we create that make it easier to cooperate with the laws or make it harder to defect from the laws. So the idea of having taxes taken off your paycheck before you see that money helps people to avoid defecting from tax fraud or tax evasion. So that's a security system that's being put in place. So those are the 4 different types of societal pressures. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about here brings us all home. It's this idea that intimacy beats size. There's a quote from the book I'm going to read to you. In general, it takes more societal pressure to get someone to defect from a smaller group interest in favor of a larger group interest than it does to get someone to do the reverse. It comes from page 152. So what Bruce is saying is that if you have a tight group of people that know each other intimately, it's extremely hard to convince someone to defect from that group to the larger group interest. However, if someone's involved in the larger group interest, but they're a part of that intimate group and that intimate group encourages them to do something, they will much more easily defect to the interests of that intimate group. So what does this mean? Well, as a business leader, it means that you have the highest leverage with the people who work for you directly or you work with on a daily basis, so long as you're actually working on building relationships with these people. Small is the New Big is a book that Godin produced 10 years ago, and this is a message that's becoming more and more clear. There's power in intimacy, and you have the ability to build that intimacy with your immediate team. So the book we've been talking about is Liars and Outliers. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm Chris Taylor, and these are your Actionable Insights.